Listen carefully, because the loudest battles are not fought with fists or swords. They are fought inside your chest, where no one is watching. I've stood there, smiling on the outside, broken on the inside, carrying pain so heavy that even breathing felt like work. They didn't hear my screams. They didn't see my hands shaking. They didn't notice how quiet I became. And that silence hurt more than every punch I ever took. People think strength is shouting. They think courage is showing no fear. They think pain only matters when it's visible. But the truth is different. The real pain is when you swallow your words, when you hide your tears, when you laugh so no one asks what's wrong. I lost people I promised to protect. I failed when everyone believed in me. I blamed myself even when it wasn't my fault. And still, I kept moving forward. Not because I was okay, not because I was strong, but because stopping meant letting the pain win. Every scar on my body tells a story, but the scars you can't see are the ones that almost destroyed me. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't quit. I stayed silent and turned that pain into fuel. Because dreams don't care how broken you feel. The sea doesn't stop because you're tired. And the world doesn't slow down for anyone. So if you're quiet right now, if you're hurting without saying a word, if you feel like no one understands what you're carrying, tell me this. Are you going to let that silence break you? Or will you turn it into the strength that carries you forward? Pain doesn't arrive with permission. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It hits you when you're already tired, already doubting yourself, already trying to hold everything together. There were days when I woke up angry for no reason. Not angry at the world, not angry at people, but angry at myself. Because no matter how much I trained, no matter how far I sailed, no matter how hard I pushed forward, something inside me kept saying, it's not enough. People look at me and see confidence. They see someone who laughs loudly, dreams boldly, and never backs down. But they don't see the nights when my smile disappears. They don't see the weight of promises pressing down on my chest. When you say you'll protect someone, that promise never leaves you. It follows you into every fight. It whispers in your ear when you're weak. And when you fail, even once, it turns into a voice that won't shut up. I remember the feeling of helplessness, standing there, knowing I wasn't strong enough, knowing that my will alone couldn't save everyone. That moment changes you. That's when doubt is born. Doubt doesn't scream. It talks quietly. It tells you that maybe you're not cut out for this, that maybe your dream is too big, that maybe the sea you chose is too wide for someone like you. And the scariest part is this. Doubt sounds like your own voice. You start questioning every step, every decision, every dream you once shouted to the sky without fear. You ask yourself why you're still fighting, why you're still standing, why you don't just give up and choose an easier path. But listen to me. Dreams were never meant to be easy. If they were, everyone would chase them. Everyone would become kings. Everyone would reach the end of their sea. The reason your dream hurts is because it matters. The reason you feel exhausted is because you're carrying something precious. And the reason you feel alone is because the path was never meant for crowds. Strength isn't built when things are going well. Strength is built when you want to quit, but don't. When your legs shake, but you take one more step. When your heart feels heavy, but you refuse to drop it. I didn't become who I am by winning every battle. I became who I am by losing and still choosing to stand back up. By letting pain teach me instead of destroy me. Every time I fell, I learned something. Every scar reminded me that I survived. Every tear washed away the weakness I didn't need anymore. And slowly, without noticing, I changed. Not into someone who feels no pain, but into someone who doesn't run from it. Because real strength isn't about never breaking. It's about breaking and rebuilding yourself again and again. Stronger each time, sharper each time, more certain of your path each time. So if you're tired right now, that's okay. If you're scared, that's human. If you're doubting yourself, that just means you care. But don't you dare stop. Not now. Not here. Not after everything you've already survived. The sea is still waiting. Your dream is still alive. And the version of you who refuses to quit is closer than you think. Tell me this honestly. When the pain tries to pull you down again, will you sink into it? Or will you stand up, clench your fists, and keep moving forward no matter how heavy it feels? There comes a point where pain stops being loud. It stops screaming. It just sits there, heavy, quiet, suffocating. That's the stage most people don't talk about. When you're not crying anymore. When you're not angry anymore. When you're just empty. You still move. You still talk. You still smile sometimes. But inside, something feels hollow. This is where most dreams die. Not in failure, not in defeat, but in silence. Because when no one is cheering for you, when no one is watching, when your efforts feel invisible, you start asking yourself a dangerous question. Does any of this even matter? I've been there, standing on my feet, but feeling like I'm sinking. Surrounded by people, but feeling completely alone. Carrying a dream that felt heavier with every step forward. And that's when you realize something painful. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to understand your struggle perfectly. No one is going to feel the pressure you feel. No one is going to carry your dream for you. And that truth hurts more than any enemy ever could. But it also reveals something important. If no one else can carry it, that means it was always meant to be yours alone. Dreams don't choose the strongest people. They choose the stubborn ones. The ones who refuse to let go, even when their hands are bleeding. I didn't keep moving because I felt confident. I kept moving because stopping scared me more than failing. I knew that if I stopped, the pain I felt would turn into regret. And regret is heavier than any defeat. So I learned to move forward without motivation, without praise, without certainty. Just one step at a time. Some days, progress looked like a big victory. Other days, progress looked like simply not giving up. And that was enough. You don't need to feel strong every day. You don't need to feel brave every moment. You just need to stay in the fight. Because strength isn't a feeling. It's a decision. A decision to wake up again. A decision to try again. A decision to believe, even when belief feels stupid. Every legend you admire once stood where you are now. Tired, uncertain, questioning everything. The only difference is they didn't walk away. They stayed long enough for pain to turn into power, for fear to turn into focus, for doubt to turn into discipline. And that transformation doesn't happen suddenly. It happens quietly, while no one is watching, while the world has already counted you out. That's why this stage matters so much. If you can survive this silence, if you can keep going without applause, without validation, without guarantees, then nothing can break you later. So if you're in that quiet phase right now, don't panic. You're not lost. You're being forged. The sea isn't calm before a storm. It's calm before something rises. Now ask yourself this, and answer honestly. If no one ever claps for your journey, if no one ever understands your sacrifices, will you still chase your dream until the very end? There's a moment in every journey where the world stops testing you loudly and starts testing you quietly. No enemies in front of you, no dramatic battles, just time and weight. The weight of days passing, the weight of effort not showing results, the weight of asking yourself, how long do I keep doing this? Time = 0.6s. This is where discipline is born. Not the flashy kind people post about. The ugly kind. The kind where you wake up tired and still move. Where you doubt yourself and still show up. Where your heart feels heavy, but your feet don't stop. I learned something painful here. Dreams don't break you all at once. They drain you slowly. A little energy lost every day. A little hope questioned every night. Until one day you realize the real enemy was never the world. It was impatience. I wanted results, fast. I wanted proof that my suffering meant something. But the sea doesn't show land just because you're tired of rowing. So I made a choice. I stopped begging the world for signs. I stopped asking people to believe in me. I stopped explaining my dream to those who didn't feel it. I decided my silence would be my answer. While others rested, I stayed moving. While others complained, I stayed quiet. While others doubted, I stayed stubborn. Not because I felt powerful, but because quitting would mean betraying the version of me who started. And that version suffered too much to be abandoned. Some nights, fear whispered, "What if this never works?" I listened and kept going anyway. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move while fear is screaming. You don't need the world to respect you right now. You need to respect your own effort. You don't need recognition today. You need consistency. The ocean doesn't care how many times you fall. It only asks one question. Time = 0.6s. Will you stand back up and face the waves again? Most people quit here. Not because they're weak, but because they're tired of waiting. But the ones who endure this phase become unstoppable later. Not loud, not arrogant, just unbreakable. So if you feel like nothing is happening, if progress feels invisible, if your heart feels heavy, but your dream is still alive, that's not failure. That's preparation. Now tell me honestly, when the journey gets quiet, heavy, and lonely, will you disappear like the rest? Or will you stay and become someone the world can't ignore? Something changes when you survive long enough. Not outside you, inside. The pain stops feeling new. The struggle stops shocking you. It becomes familiar, and that's dangerous, because comfort can hide inside suffering. But I didn't let pain define me. I let it sharpen me. I stopped asking why life was hard and started asking how much harder I could become. Every loss trained my patience. Every failure trained my focus. Every lonely night trained my mind. I realized strength isn't about always winning. It's about never letting defeat decide who you are. There were days I smiled while bleeding. Days I laughed while my chest felt heavy. Days I moved forward with nothing but stubborn faith. Not hope. Faith. Hope waits for things to change. Faith moves even when nothing does. I learned to carry my dream quietly. No announcements. No promises. Just work. While people measured success by applause, I measured it by discipline. Did I show up today? Did I push even when it hurt? Did I refuse to quit again? That became my victory. The world didn't notice my growth. And that was perfect. Because silent growth builds explosive results. Roots grow in darkness, and the deeper they go, the harder the tree is to break. I stopped trying to look strong. I focused on becoming strong. I stopped proving myself. I focused on preparing myself. And slowly, without realizing it, I became someone my past self would be proud of. Not fearless, not perfect, but relentless. I didn't need motivation anymore. Discipline carried me. I didn't need validation anymore. Purpose guided me. I understood something most people never do. The journey doesn't reward talent. It rewards endurance. So if you feel like you're changing, if you feel detached from distractions, if you feel focused, quieter, heavier, you're not losing yourself. You're becoming dangerous. Now answer me. Are you ready to keep growing in silence? Or will you run back to comfort before the storm breaks? There comes a point where quitting doesn't even feel like an option anymore. Not because things got easier, but because you've gone too far to turn back. Your hands are scarred. Your mind is hardened. Your patience has been tested in ways no one saw. And suddenly, you realize something dangerous. You are no longer chasing the dream. You are becoming it. Fear still exists. Doubt still whispers. But they no longer control your direction. You've walked through too many storms to be afraid of the rain. The opinions that once slowed you down now sound distant. The noise that once distracted you now feels irrelevant. Your focus is sharp. Your purpose is clear. You don't rush. You don't panic. You don't explain. You move. Every step now has weight. Every decision has intent. Every sacrifice has meaning. You've learned that strength isn't loud. Real power is calm. It's waking up and doing the work, even when no one is watching. It's choosing the hard path, because comfort can't give you the future you want. The world still hasn't caught up to you, and that's fine, because when it does, it won't see a beginner. It will see someone forged by struggle, someone shaped by patience, someone who refused to sink. You don't beg for opportunities anymore. You create pressure until doors break open. You don't ask for respect. You earn it through consistency. This is the phase where legends are built quietly. No applause, no shortcuts, just relentless forward motion. So tell me, now that quitting feels impossible, now that your resolve is unbreakable, will you slow down when it gets harder? Or will you push forward and take what you came for? Now the path narrows. Not because the world is blocking you, but because only a few are meant to walk this far. At this stage, there are no excuses left. No one to blame. No comfort to hide behind. Only you, and the weight of what you said you wanted. This is where destiny doesn't chase you anymore. It waits. It watches to see if you will hesitate or step forward without permission. You feel it in your chest. That pressure, that calm intensity. You're no longer fighting for survival. You're fighting for meaning. Every step now demands courage, because turning back would mean admitting that all the pain was for nothing, and you refuse to accept that. You've learned something most never do. Your limits were never real. They were only untested, so you test them again and again. You stand in front of fear, not as a victim, but as a challenger. The same fear that once froze you, now sharpens you. You don't ask if you're ready. You move and become ready. The world may still doubt you. That's fine. Doubt is fuel when belief is unshakable. You're not here to fit in. You're here to break patterns, to go where others stopped, to finish what others abandoned. This moment defines everything, not the outcome, the decision to step forward, even when the future isn't guaranteed. So answer this. Now that destiny is standing in front of you, will you blink? Or will you take the step that changes everything? This is where the story stops being a dream and becomes a declaration. You didn't come this far to wonder what would have happened if you tried harder. You came to take what you decided was yours. The sea never promised you safety. It promised truth. And the truth is simple. Only those who keep moving, when everything says stop, deserve to stand at the end. You were tested. Not once, not twice, but every single day you refused to quit. Every scar you carry is proof that you chose forward over fear. You were laughed at, ignored, doubted, and you answered with consistency. You didn't need permission. You didn't need approval. You needed courage, and you built it, step by step, through pain, silence, and discipline. Now look at you, not perfect, not fearless, but unbreakable. The world doesn't decide your worth. Your endurance does. This is the moment you stop asking, "Can I do it?" and start declaring, "I will." Not someday. Not when it's easier. Now. Because legends aren't born in comfort. They're forged in storms. And storms don't scare you anymore. So tell me one last thing. After everything you've survived, after everything you've sacrificed, after every night you refuse to give up, will you shrink back into the crowd? Or will you rise, take the helm, and claim the life you've been fighting for? The sea is watching.